What's up, guys, and welcome to the Olsen Angle. Today we're going to be talking about a 5-star cornerback prospect out of the 2021 recruiting class, Tony Grimes. Tony's 6 foot 180 pounds, and when I watched his film, holy crap did he deliver. He's everything I expected out of a 5-star defensive back and more. The kid's a flat-out athlete. You see in the highlights, he plays a little bit of every position. Running back, wide receiver, corner, safety, it doesn't matter. Any type of skill position that team needs, Tony can go ahead and slide into that position. The first thing that immediately popped to me on film, though, is he has that elite level speed, that type of speed that you can't teach. You can teach cornerbacks how to be more aware in zone coverage. You can teach corners how to jam wide receivers a little bit better at the line of scrimmage. You can teach corners how to be more intact with their movements to where they have a good economy of movements. But you can't teach elite level speed. He also has extremely fluid hips. And by that, I mean that when wide receivers are entering their route tree and changing direction, Tony's able to go ahead and move and swivel his hips and put his feet in the right direction to where he can go ahead and cover that wide receiver without wasting any movement. When you have that elite speed and those great fluid hips, it automatically makes you a threat there in man coverage. And just to confirm, Tony is extremely gifted in man coverage. Whether he's in press, close to the line of scrimmage, off the wide receiver, it doesn't matter. He can go ahead and blanket those wideouts. But something he doesn't get a lot of credit for is his ability and knowledge in zone coverage. There are plenty different situations throughout the highlights where I'm able to see Tony's in zone coverage and he understands the concepts in a play that's being run around him. So he's able to put himself in the right position to take advantage of a mistake by the quarterback, or even go ahead and break up a pass because, again, he understands who is supposed to be covering what zone. It's important to know what the actual play is, and the same token, it's important to trust the guys around you. And especially in that defensive back core, you have to have excellent trust when you're in zone coverage. It's the same exact thing as an offensive lineman. If you're running a slide side protection, you have to believe that the guys to the left or the right of you are going to be coming in unison and blocking on the same exact page as you are. And when we're talking about Tony, I mean, I'm only scratching the surface of what he does extremely well. You see when he exits his breaks is a quick burst of acceleration, which allows him to really close distance between him and the wide receiver. In the highlights, you see him be able to sniff out wide receiver bubble screens like it's nobody's business. I mean, he gets on the wide receiver as soon as he catches the ball and is able to stop them at the line of scrimmage. But what he does so well that doesn't get recognition either is he breaks down and makes a form tackle. There are so many different scenarios where you see corners, safeties come screaming down and they're just going to go ahead and hit that wide receiver who's just caught the ball as hard as they possibly can. And sometimes they get sidestepped and that wide receiver goes to the house. Tony will not compromise his form tackle to make a big hit. He would much rather get the guy on the ground, have the job done, than lay a pulverizing hit and take the chance that he could miss the tackle. Tony's a form tackler, and again, it's undervalued in today's game, but it is crucially important, especially when, you could be that last line of defense. And don't get me wrong, Tony can really hit. He lays the proverbial boom all throughout the highlights. And to top it all off, he is physical. He's strong enough to bump wide receivers off their route. He goes up at high points to football extremely well. And he's not afraid to mix it up in the run game. He's not afraid to get in there and mess around with the big nasties when it needs to be done. And when I talk about Tony, it makes me excited. I mean, he does so many things well. He checks the boxes, and he's so concerted in his effort. Let's go ahead and jump into the highlights. As soon as that ball's in the air, he flips his hips right there. He gets to where the ball's going. He makes the interception. That's a good job. A nice cut right there. And the spin move is just insult to injury. You see the playmaking abilities right there is able to extend that interception and turn it into a touchdown. It's a great play. Oh, he's about to gash him right here. That safety's going to keep me up. Sure enough, he gashes him. And look at this. You see the top end speed on display right here. He's pulling away from everybody, and he just gives that little hesitation step to that corner who's trying to make the tackle, just enough to slow him up, and you see him just pull away for the touchdown. Great top end speed. He's getting that bubble screen and he's going to the house. Sure enough. I mean, a guy takes an inside angle, he's got the outside wide open, and you see him able to exploit even the simplest of mistakes into a touchdown because he has a game-breaking speed. You cannot teach that type of speed. Oh, here he is at running back. Good cut. And he's off to the races. He opens up that stride. And I can tell you one thing, college teams are salivating when they see the type of speed that Tony has. It really makes him a real difference maker. There he is at safety over the top in zone coverage. Did he get 2 feet in? Oh, just out of bounds. But I mean, look at the effort on that play. And, you know, it was an ill-advised throw by the quarterback, but Tony does a good job of being in the right position and playing his assignment. He's able to go ahead and take advantage of that ill-advised throw. Oh, here he is at like quarterback as a wildcat formation. And he hits that hole with a great burst of acceleration. Look at him turn his hips so quickly right there. As soon as that wide receiver goes ahead and breaks out in his route tree, you see him flip his hips. He is immediately able to cover that ground, and that wideout had no chance in hell of catching that football. That's the type of stuff that gets me excited. Oh, he's wide open. That's the easiest touchdown he'll ever score. Nice. As soon as that ball leaves the quarterback's hands, he's on top of it, and he understands he has safety help towards the center of the field. So when you see him flip his hips, he's more geared towards the outside. He knows he has that safety help over top, and it puts him in position to make that interception. Look at the vision on that. He sees everything's muddled up on the middle, and he just goes ahead and bounces that to the outside and turns like a 2 to 3 yard gain into an explosive play. Great job. Great vision. Look at how quick that play recognition is. And then the form tackle. I have to watch that again. It's not even one step by the wide receiver, and he immediately diagnoses that it is a wide receiver bubble screen. Tony's about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, and this wide receiver, given it wasn't a great throw, doesn't gain a single yard, again, because of the great play recognition. He comes downfield, but he's controlled when he comes downfield. He uses a great economy of movement, he doesn't overstep, he doesn't overlunge, and allows him to make that form tackle and stop the wideout from gaining anything. I know this play might not resonate with a lot of you guys watching the film, but the little things like that really make a big difference, and it makes coaches extremely excited when they see things like that. He's coming downhill, but you see him breaking down where he's under control. It allows him to redirect, make the tackle, and strip the football. I mean, that's a heads-up play right there. He's got active hands and good awareness. Great job on that play. Given, I don't know what the wide receiver was thinking. Number 4, he didn't block a soul right there. He didn't help out his fellow wideout. He avoids a would-be tackler that would go ahead and stop in the backfield for a negative gain, and he turns the play into a plus 15-yard run. Great job, great vision, and great patience. That right there is excellent. You see him thinking that play is going to be a wide receiver bubble screen, but instead of that bubble screen, the wide receiver's running an in or a slant route. I don't know. It wasn't a crisp route by the wideout, but Tony comes under control to go ahead and approach that wide receiver, which allows him to redirect with those fluid hips, get on that wide receiver and break up the pass. Those type of plays speak volumes because there was a little bit of chaos there, right? Not everything went perfect and according to plan based off the snap of the ball, but you're able to go ahead and see the speed, the reaction, the fluid hips, and acceleration that allow him to be a great cornerback. When chaos like this occurs, you're really able to see all the different attributes and abilities that he brings to the table. He's coming downhill quick. And I mean, my God almighty, he lays the boom right there. Look at how quickly he diagnoses that bubble screen. He works around the wide receiver and stops that play in the backfield. Great play recognition and reaction to that. The safety just whiffed on that tackle. And, I mean, he hawks down the running back from behind. And it's a hell of an effort play right there. That running back had about a 5-yard advantage over him. And Tony goes ahead and hawks him down from behind. And I think he scored a touchdown, but still, it was a great effort play. And you saw the heart. No matter how hard you want to, you just can't teach heart. You can't teach motivation. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Look at what he does there in that run scenario. He disengages from the wide receiver. He avoids the block by the running back and then stops the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage. He is no slouch in the run game. He is so elusive with the ball. You see him go ahead and give the defender the spin move, and it leads one defender to collide him with the other. Oh my God, that hole is massive. Oh. That is a shoestring tackle. He had green fields ahead of him for days and just one step away from breaking that for a touchdown. He does a great job of finding that soft spot right in the zone. And that's a hell of a diving catch right there. He decleats the linebacker number 54. Man, there's not anything on the field that this young man won't do to help contribute to his team's success. I love seeing stuff like that. Coaches love seeing stuff like that. That's the type of stuff that separates great players from elite players. That cornerback is quite obviously interfering with him, holding his hand right there. But he fights through it. I'm not sure if he got both feet in bounds or anything, but he fights through that contact and makes a hell of a catch. After watching the film, I learned a lot about Tony. He has elite level speed and an elite compete level. There's nothing he won't do to help his team be successful. Whether it's blocking, coming down and stopping runs, whatever position it is they need him to play, it doesn't matter. He's going to do anything he can to help the team be successful. He does a great job of blanketing wide receivers. Whenever those wideouts enter their route tree, he does a great job of flipping his hips with those fluid hips. He uses a quick burst of acceleration to stay right on top of the wideout to prevent any type of separation. And that is pertinent when you play the cornerback position. He's got great play recognition, sniffs out those bubble screens quicker than most corners, and then he understands the defensive play and scheme around him. You see it multiple times. He understands where his teammates are supposed to be and where he needs to be in order to be successful. It allows those fortuitous breaks when a quarterback has an ill-advised throw. Tony's in the right position to go ahead and make a play. I'm extremely impressed with what I saw on film with Tony, and I 100% understand why college coaches are recruiting him hard and why he's one of the best corners in the 2021 recruiting class. Thanks so much, guys, for watching the video. If you've enjoyed this content, be sure to let me know by subscribing and liking and commenting too. I always read the comment section for suggestions of who I should cover in my next video. But until the next time, guys, thanks so much for watching.